Distancing in the United States of America. Welcome to the GCN show.
Welcome to the GCN show.
Coming up this week, we look at some of the extremes that cyclists have taken to doing during lockdown, from losing their minds through epic rides to some pretty impressive creativity.
We've also got a scientific way to improve your pedalling technique, plus some epic hacks and bodges. And also, besides, this is my first GCN show.
I'm hoping you mean presenting, Connor, and not actually watching, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna need a little bit of help though to know what the whole slash thing's about and what on earth is a bodge, Si?
You don't have to worry about bodges, Connor. No one knows the true meaning of the word bodge. This week in the world of cycling, we're seeing for the first time full-blown pro racing on Zwift. This is the 5-stage opener to the Tour for All, and you can watch it live on the GCN app.
Unfortunately though, you will have to watch Dan and listen to Si. Yesterday we had the first stage, a flat circuit around Innsbruck with 10 men's world tour teams and 9 women's teams taking part. At the end of the stage, Freddie Ovett and Marion Vos emerged victorious.
It's not just Zwift's Tour for All that's live on the GCN app. Starting this weekend, we're getting Giro d'Italia fever. Boy, are we excited to bring you 21 classic stages from the last 7 Giri d'Italia, available to watch on the GCN app. And we will be with updated commentary, plus even more. Here's a little taster.
Coming up on GCN in May, we celebrate 21 classic stages of the Giro d'Italia from the past 7 editions of the most beautiful Grand Tour. Over 3 weeks, you will be able to relive the action of Chris Froome's epic mountain exploits in 2018, Tom Dumoulin's rise to stardom in 2017, Stephen Kruijswijk's heartbreaking fall from grace in 2016, and much more. We'll be telling you the story behind the stages, with interviews from the key riders and teams. We'll also be asking you to get involved via the GCN app with polls, quizzes, debate and opinion. You'll be able to watch live and interactive coverage all in the one place over on the GCN app and also on Eurosport.
Wow, Si, I can't wait for that. I'm so glad that we're going to be able to feel some of that Giro fever still. On with the show now. Yeah, with some of us in isolation for coming up to nearly 2 months now, it's fair to say that some of us are starting to go a little bit stir crazy. I myself have been talking to Larry the Leopard here quite often, as you might have seen in some of my recent GCN videos.
Yeah, we have seen you talking to Larry the Leopard, Connor, but it's okay, mate. And in the spirit of togetherness, we thought we'd share some other stories of some crazy lockdown exploits.
Yeah, I think during tough times, it helps to come out of your shell a little bit. I know it's not quite the same, but when I was in the 2nd or 3rd week of a Grand Tour, I'd always find myself just going a little bit off the walls, singing on the bus, having these mad conversations with my teammates. And you know what? I think it needs to be celebrated.
Yeah, I can see that. Did you ever build yourself a velodrome in your garden when you got home?
I thought about it. I couldn't quite get off the sofa, if I'm honest, Si.
No, fair enough, mate. No, I can totally understand that. I can't necessarily understand Larry the Leopard, if I'm completely honest, but, well, that's fine.
Well, Si, Larry the Leopard's become quite a protege. He can do 4 watts a kilo for 20 minutes, and he's telling me he's got a good sprint on him, but at the moment, I think this is just bravado.
Yeah, well, it does sound quite a good go for a leopard, but anyway, there we go. Let's begin, shall we, by catching up with some pro cyclists. And we're going to start with our mate Sam Bewley, who's gone to new levels of bonkers during lockdown, but also asking some very important questions, like whether you pronounce it GIF or SIF.
Be a bit of GIF or SIF if you're in Spain.
Yes, this week, Sam has enlightened us on how to clean your shower with a drill. Yep. He's taken things up a notch, people. Using a drill, a sponge, and, well, his customary sun hat, he's done some interesting how-to videos on cleaning his shower. And what about Luke Durbridge and his slightly bizarre cookery lessons, introducing us to Steve the Starter? I mean, He's got nothing on my Larry the Leopard, if I'm honest, but wow. And also, what about Peter Stettiner sharing his rather weird lockdown dreams? And we also had Luke Rowe pulling his boxers off at a ferocious rate for Testicular Cancer Awareness Month, which, to be honest, I think is great work, mate.
Yeah, I think that's great as well, actually. Yeah, brilliant stuff. It's also been really cool, actually, to see that a lot of cyclists have taken on epic challenges during lockdown as well. I genuinely find that really uplifting, because it would be quite easy to put the bike aside at the moment, but actually I think for a lot of us it's really helped us just to get through it.
Oh, definitely. I mean, look at Molly Weaver. She rode 130 kilometres round her garden, 1,300 laps. I mean, it made a mess, but she did raise a huge amount of cash for Women's Aid, a brilliant cause.
We should have like a grass update at this point, Connor. I'm quite intrigued to know how long it's going to take for that garden to recover.
Yeah, I can just imagine her dad there in his wellies, just knee deep in mud. We also had Geraint Thomas doing 3x12 hour shifts on Zwift for the NHS, the health service in the UK. And also we had South African Willie Smith riding for 37 hours on Zwift. And he clocked 1,000 kilometres.
Yeah, I read that and I was pretty impressed. But I've got to say, I think our own Hank's 24-hour effort, where he did 780 kilometres, might have topped it. But then I read about Travis Samuel, who is a Canadian cyclist who was taking part in Crush COVID, which was a 24-hour Zwift epic fundraising campaign that brought in $200,000. Anyway, he decided that he wouldn't do it as part of a team, he'd do it all on his own, and he averaged 42 kilometres per hour.
God, Si, I'm just doing a bit of maths in my head here. And if I'm right, that's 1,008 kilometres?
Yeah, mate, yeah. That's pretty impressive, isn't it? He did have a 30-minute rest break, so technically he probably rode even faster. But yeah, new world record.
God, that is impressive. But I think I might have found something even better. New Zealand site TVNZ has found this New Zealand Ironman athlete who, get this, he dug his own pool in his garden. Got an excavator, dug a 25-metre pool, filled it with water, and then he swam 152 lengths in it, got out, got on his mountain bike, did 30 laps of a course, finished that one off. Then he did 17 laps of a 2.5 kilometre course running. I'm tired just even thinking about that, I tell you.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of thought that he would probably win the Bonkers Lockdown Challenge doing his own Ironman. After all, anyone who digs himself a muddy hole, spends 2 days filling it with water, proceeding to swim 3.8 kilometres in it, deserves our vote. Except, I think this Irish triathlete might have gone one better, because he did an Ironman in his backyard, and he did his swim in a skip. And then he did his bike on the trainer, and then he ran on a treadmill, which is bonkers. So hats off Stephen Donnelly, because that's insane.
Oh, definitely. Hats off to Stephen, and it was all for a good cause, raising money for Meals on Wheels and his local hospitals in County Mayo, North West Ireland. And you find his GoFundMe page right here.
You know what? Brilliant and also inspirational. Do you think you could find yourself a skip from somewhere, Connor?
Oh, no, sorry, don't start this. I'd be rubbish.
That's exactly what you put in a skip, isn't it? But anyway, no, I don't think that you could find one big enough, perhaps. Anyway, lastly, I think this GCN viewer may well have won the internet. Do you remember Queck's Trek Madon music that he made a couple of weeks ago? Here's a little peek of it. Yeah, well, I think he might have outdone himself this time. Unfortunately, we can't use the music that should go with this clip, but even without it, it's just genius.
Yeah, and I think all these things go to show that whilst we're in isolation, we don't have to get down. We can still stay positive and get through this all together. You don't have to build a 25-metre pool in your backyard, although, to be honest, don't let it stop me if that's what you want to do. But if we all stay positive through this, we can get through it together.
Yeah, I think that's bang on, actually. Very true indeed. Let us know what you think about all of this in the comment section. And also, let us know if we've missed some amazingness. Stick some links in the comments and point us in the direction, and we'll try and give people a shout out next week. Unfortunately, Connor, I've now got to bring it down from amazingness to distinctly average, because it's the final update in my isolation challenge 4 weeks of fitness.
Don't knock yourself, Si. I think you're doing rather well, if you ask me.
Oh, you're too kind, Connor. You're too kind. Well, the 4 weeks of fitness has come to an end, unfortunately, or at least the training part has. All that's left now is to freshen up and then hit that epic KOM challenge. It's back. The pigeon's back. Can you go away, please? It's not been here all day. Anyway, I've got to hit that epic KOM challenge and try and better my time from 5 weeks ago. I'm quietly confident. I feel an awful lot better doing those high intensity efforts, particularly after the last week actually. The last 2 training sessions were great. I hit some really positive numbers actually for me, so that was really cool. And then I did a race as well that went really, well, it didn't go that well, put it that way, I didn't win, but I didn't get dropped. And yeah, so I'm pleased. I'm quietly confident. I'm just trying to hope that my legs will play ball because they're really sore. I'm not gonna lie. If you've done some of those training sessions with me, you will know what I'm talking about. My legs are in bits. Coach Kev, you've inflicted a lot of muscle damage, and I don't have particularly big muscles, so I'm feeling it. But anyway, fingers crossed. Now, if you want to join me on the Epic KOM Challenge, it's not going to be a particularly sociable ride, I'm afraid. We are, of course, just riding as fast as we can up the Epic KOM. But nevertheless, 7:30 on Wednesday evening. That's UK time, of course. So yeah, join me for that ride, and well, we can all suffer together one last time. Now, at the end of that, don't be too dismayed, of course, that the 4 weeks of fitness is over. Hank has got 4 live workouts to do. Well, he's not live anymore, obviously, but you know what I mean. Anyway, those are exclusive to GCN Club members, so I thought I'd put that little shout out. If you're a GCN Club member, then make sure you check out Hank's 4 real-time training videos that he's done for you. Right then, we are on to GCN Inspiration. So that part of the show where we pick out 3 of the best photos that you've submitted to the GCN app. Inspirational photos, photos that make us want to go ride our bikes. And each photo will win a prize. So starting us off in 3rd place, Connor, who gets it this week?
Well, the winner of the Chill Out bundle is T. Lawtonaya, enjoying open spaces in the Blue Ridge Mountains. And I love this one.
That
Beautiful.
is cool, isn't it? Very, very cool photo. It's got that kind of like isolation feel about it. It also is a snapshot of an utterly stunning road. So
oh, it looks beautiful.
it does look good, doesn't it? Right, 2nd prize, which is the Garden Workout Bundle, which I mean, I love the name of that. I still haven't found out what's in it, but there is a picture on screen now. Anyway, this was sent in by Lincoln Horst, a morning ride along the American River Bike Trail in Sacramento, California. And yes, it's a sunrise shot, but I just had to stick that in because I thought it was cool. And sometimes you need a bit of inspiration to get up early and go ride your bike before work or before family commitments. And yeah, that does it for me, man.
Yeah, you can't beat a sunrise shot. I think it's the best time to ride a bike, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I never managed to get up early enough, to be honest, when I was racing, but when I did, I loved it.
No. Right then, who wins 1st prize this week, Connor?
So, 1st prize winning the indoor training bundle is user 172915.
What's his
Andre
name?
Cavanzo. And sorry, sir, I'm not used to all these users and authors, but the user is Andre Cavanzo 20. So well done. And the description is: on my way to the summit of Glendora Mountain Road, a perfect weather and a perfect bike.
Yeah.
And that is some shot.
That is some shot, isn't it? Now, can I say I sort of put this one forward this week. So a little tip for viewers, not only are we suckers for sunrises, sunsets, also places we've been is really helpful. And Glendora Mountain Road, I've been to a couple of times now actually on GCN shoots, and I think it's amazing. It's an absolutely incredible bit of road, and but I've never seen it looking quite as beautiful as that. So congratulations, user ID 173 or whatever your name was. But that's brilliant, isn't it? Deserved winner, I think, Connor.
Yeah, definitely. I've never actually been to Glendora Road, but after seeing this photo, it's definitely on my bucket list for when this isolation is over. I'll be straight there, I think.
It is a cracker. It is a cracker. Right, thank you as always for submitting such great photos. If you want to see more inspirational photos, of course, head over to the GCN app. This is just the tip of the iceberg. And please upload your photos for next week as well. 3 more big prizes up for grabs.
It's now time for cycling shorts.
Cycling shorts now, and the trend for young hotshot signings in pro cycling has continued this week, despite there being no racing.
Yeah, UAE Team Emirates have announced the signing of Juan Ayuso, a 17-year-old Spanish rider, who has, wait for it, signed for a 5-year deal. When he gets in the pro ranks, he's going to make Remco Evenepoel look like a veteran side.
He is, isn't he? Yeah, bonkers. He hails from Alicante, and he's the current Spanish junior national champ. I've got to say, wish him all the best. He's potentially the latest in a line of young talent to really make headway in the pro ranks in just their first year. So fingers crossed for him.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. And Bjarne Riis has also made a few headlines this week, commenting to the media that he thought rival team manager Dave Brailsford was selfish. He made the comments when Brailsford had himself remarked that he would pull his team from the Tour if he felt that it wasn't safe to race due to the current crisis.
Bjarne said that he felt that teams should stick together at the moment and make decisions as one, and so therefore wasn't happy with Brailsford's comments. I guess it kind of shows a difference of opinion on how and when the pro cycling season should get going again, or indeed maybe it just shows which team management are safe in the knowledge that their sponsors have really deep pockets. I don't know, but yeah, interesting one.
Yeah, it's an ongoing argument, I think, and one we'll see more of over the next few weeks. Also, Zwift has announced some interesting new updates, and I think it's a pretty interesting concept if you ask me. You get these new boosts when you're racing, and the 3 boosts are efficient, balanced and power burst. So get this, for example, when you use the power burst boost, you get a 500 watt increase in power for 5 seconds. But there's a catch. So if you use the boost, you have to be 10 kilograms heavier for the whole race side.
Ooh. Wow. That's a dilemma, isn't it? I mean, for a flat race, I guess it's a no-brainer, but I mean, the 500 watts would definitely come in handy for my sprint. It might almost take me over 4 figures, but I mean, imagine it in the hands of like Andre Greipel. He'd be a monster, but 3,000 watt sprint. Yikes.
Here's a cool bit of research we found this week. It's possible to improve your pedalling technique through, get this, sound.
Yeah, so we spotted this one on the Cycling Science Twitter feed, and it comes from the Institute of Electrical and
Electronics Engineers side.
Yeah,
I'm an avid reader.
I thought you might be
every day.
Yeah. Anyway, they found, these researchers, that we can improve our pedaling through sonification of the force of our pedaling stroke using the squeak effect, whereby a noise is generated when pedaling torque is 0. I'm not going to lie, Connor, I'm pretty sure they might have replicated a bottom bracket that I had a couple of years ago.
Oh, sorry, you weren't one of those, were you? Riding with the squeaky bottom bracket.
Only for one ride, but it was long enough.
The study found that the squeak effect improved torque effectiveness in participants, with some participants managing to eliminate any negative torque for a full minute.
I'm a little bit sceptical, about torque effectiveness sometimes, whether or not it actually improves your cycling. But still, interesting, very interesting. Although let it be said that if this technology could somehow be, made into something that was rideable, then you wouldn't be welcome on the group ride if you had a squeaky pedals.
Yeah, I know, Si. I think if I was going riding with anyone with a squeaky chain or a squeaky bottom bracket, then that'd be it for me. My cycle would be eroded and I'd be on the way home or to the nearest calf.
Yeah, right. Now, we hinted at it at the top of the show, but after the Zwift Tour for All, we have got a very big May coming up on the GCN app and also on Eurosport as well. Because while there may not be a Giro d'Italia in 2020, we have gone back through the last 7 editions and pulled out the very best 21 stages that there have been. And we will be broadcasting one each day. So it's going to be absolutely fantastic. And it's not only going to be the racing that's broadcast, we've also got extra interviews with some of the main protagonists as well. So it's just going to be an awesome 21 days of bike racing.
Oh, I can't wait to still feel that Giro fever, Si. I think I might be having pizza and pasta every day for the next 3 weeks. Any excuse.
Yeah, mate, yeah.
We've also got some new tech content for you to look out for. We've got the new Zip wheels, the 303S, Zip's most affordable wheels, and also very fast. We've also got the new Giant TCR, both of which You've been getting to grips with in your garden, haven't you, Si?
Well, I have, mate, yeah. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to build myself a velodrome in my garden, or nor indeed build myself a swimming pool, but I have had the luxury of getting my hands on some hot new tech. You can check out videos on each on GCN and GCN Tech, but here is a sneaky peek. But now we have the even more affordable, lighter and faster 303S. Disc specific, happy off-road as well as on, and tubeless ready. So, what's the deal? Well, quite a lot actually. They got a new logo for a start. This is the new Giant TCR Advanced SL disc, the latest in a long and venerable line of bikes that effectively rewrote the book on how road bikes should look and feel. It's time now. You ready for it, Connor?
I'm ready, I think I am, Si.
Hack/Bodge of the week. I trust you got that, but I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't. Anyway, who's going to start Hack or Bodge this week, mate?
So, we have Men Without Umbrella. Interesting name, I think. And they've submitted this, not the most aero, but does the job very well. Handmade from bits around the house. What do you reckon, Si?
Well,
it's quite elegant.
I mean, I probably wouldn't strap that to the front of my bike, but it may well come in handy on the trainer, you know, to access your kind of... it's also a massive phone, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
good Lord.
To make that for a phone that big, in my opinion, that's definitely a hack for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I was going to say Bodge. Anyway, the viewers, on users of the GCN app, 63% agree with me, Connor, I'm afraid, and say Bodge.
Oh.
So yeah, I feel a bit harsh, because it's a nice bit of work, that. But anyway, there we go. This next one is from Noonagrave. Basically, he's from Portugal, and has fashioned a lampshade holder?
Yeah.
It's
took me
not
a while to
actually a
figure that
lampshade,
out.
is it? Basically, he's just stuck a wheel on the ceiling in between his lamp and the roof. So I think that's probably a Bodge, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go Bodge with this one as well, Si. Like, because if I made that in the living room and Stacey came in and saw it, I think I'd be sleeping in the doghouse.
Yeah.
Bodge.
Don't get me started on my living room at the moment, mate. It's where I've been doing all my indoor training, and my wife refuses to come in here now unless there's a scented candle lit.
Oh,
anyway, what do the viewers think? 76% say hack. I'm surprised about that. Is it a ceiling fan or something? Have we missed something?
I'm not sure. Maybe they just have more understanding partners, Si, I'd say.
Well, possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. Anyway, right, what's next?
D.A. Newman, and this is a monster gravel build. Now, he's had an old hardtail mountain bike lying around, so he's decided to convert it to a gravel bike. And if you ask me, that's a stunner. Hack.
Yeah, to be fair, mate, I think that is probably a hack, actually. Is that an old GT as well?
Yeah, I'm just looking in.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, really nice. A lot of clearance.
I'd like to know how that rides, actually. You know, whether the geometry's all right with... Because they can be quite long, mountain bikes, when you stick road handlebars on. But no, that's a hack from me. Hack from you. 88% of the app users say hack as well. So fair play. Right, next one. You know those IKEA chairs, Connor, that get everywhere? Absolutely everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're called Poangs.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Milad says, or has basically sawed his in half and turned it into a bike rack, which is amazing. There's a website called IKEA Hacks. Did you know that?
I didn't know that one, but I think this one in particular looks very elegant, actually. Nice bit of wood. I reckon he's polished that as well, Si, if you ask me. A little bit to put the helmet on top.
Yeah, I like that. That's a hack from me, and 90% of the app audience say hack too. So there we go.
That's a unanimous one.
I like the fact he's called it a timeless classic. I suppose it is, really, isn't it? There's that many of them been sold. Right then, next up.
Oh, this one. Now I love this one, Si. So River City Rider. So he's got rid of the kids and he's converted an old kids trailer into a trailer used for groceries. Now, if you look at this one, I reckon he can store quite a lot of porridge on this. And that's all I'd be putting on it.
I bet he could, yeah.
Porridge on that. So
that's cool, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. It's definitely a hack. The kids might be a bit unhappy getting replaced with food, but
well,
you know,
yeah.
must.
Well, yeah, no, you wouldn't. You probably wouldn't want to strap your kids next to the porridge on the trailer. I'll grant you, but no, I like that. That's a hack from me. A hack from you?
Yeah, it's a hack from me. I mean, if my kid was strapped to the back of that with the porridge would be eaten by the time they got home. But yeah, yeah, the audience agreed as well.
Nice.
Everyone agreed at home on the app.
87%.
Yeah.
Fair play. Right, this one I think is very cool. This is from Michael Clark. My niece's recycled tyre projects for Earth Day. Tread for backpack straps and Kevlar bead for purse strap. I think that's super cool. What a neat little rucksack.
Oh, definitely.
And matching handbag.
Yeah, I'm always a fan of upcycling as well, using old parts and making something.
Yeah, definitely.
So, that's a hack from me for sure. Definite.
Hack from me, but unfortunately only 56% of the app users said hack too. So, you know, I'm gonna have to call you out, guys, on that one. I'm not terribly happy, but anyway. Yeah, we got one last one, haven't we now? And this I think is very cool. Custom shifter paddles. Not something that you often see customized, but Max B1 has basically glued some extra paddles onto his shifters to help with finding the levers, basically, when it's cold and shifting gears. And I like that. Nice bit of carbon. You don't often see that on a Shimano lever, do you?
Yes, I like the carbon on it, but I'm not sold on it. I don't like the fact that it's been glued onto the shifter. I like to know that my shifter's really solid. I just doesn't fit with me. I'm gonna say Bodge. Bodge, I'm sorry.
But I don't want to break it to you, Connor. But your whole carbon bike has been glued. I mean, that's all it is. It's just glue. It's like a big pile of glue and some cloth.
Maybe I'm just hearing the word glue and I'm just thinking of that glue you had when you were 8 years old, putting glitter on cards.
Yeah, okay. What if I called it epoxy resin?
Yeah, that sounds better. That sounds better. That sounds a bit more technical and like.
Yeah, so he's bonded it using epoxy resin, reinforced with carbon nanotubes and graphene. Connor. What do you think?
Yeah.
Hack?
That's a hack now. Well, I'm gonna go and call him and make one for me.
Brilliant, yeah. We ended Hack or Bodge on a high. Thank you as always for submitting your brilliant, funny and also genius hacks and bodges. If you want to do so, then of course GCN app is the place to do that.
I'll tell you what, Si, I love this part of the show and I can't wait to add some of my own corkers as the months go on. What do you reckon to this week? Anyway, who's the winner?
Well, the winner of a GCN Elite water bottle. I've got a lovely little red number right here in front of me, Connor. We had some absolutely cracking entries, unsurprisingly perhaps, because it was Dan picking himself up out of a very dusty ditch at the Tour of Qatar. Anyway, I think we should give an honourable mention, probably, to Christopher Hughes, who said, "Did I tell you about the time I rode for the Cervelo crash test team?" I like that.
Oh, good one, Christopher. Yeah, I like that one.
But there was a better one, wasn't there?
Yeah, go on, Si. Yeah, you tell him.
Well, Josh Barris, fair play. Dan telling his knees that he rode for the Cervelo test team. Genius.
He does tend to tell anyone, doesn't he, Si?
He does indeed. He does indeed. Anyway, Josh, there's a GCN Elite water bottle winging its way to you. Just get in touch with us on some form of social media and let us know your address and we can send it out to you. Right then, what's this week's photo, Connor?
Well, we have Carlos Sastre looking rather despondent in Flesh Well On in 2008. What do you reckon? I'll tell you what though, Si, before you say your submission to this caption competition, I'd say if this was me, it would be, well, that's the excuse sorted for not having to ride up Murder Hoy. I'd be really happy about it.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, the thing I'm thinking of is in 2008, Carlos Sastre. No, it's not quite. Oh no! Oh no, it is. Sorry, I was just. This is my brain working very slowly. 2009, Carlos Sastre rode for the Cervelo test team with Daniel Lloyd. So I'm wondering whether at this moment he's just realised that he's going to have to sign a contract and be teammates with Lloydie. But anyway, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there for now. Remember to stick your caption in the comments section underneath this video. We'll go through, have a laugh next week and choose the best one who will win a GCN Elite water bottle.
So next up, we have comment of the week. Do you want to give us your favourite one so far, Si?
Well, so we're going to start off with one or two from Hank's video from last weekend, actually. The tall bike that's still rolling in. Jeffrey Williams hopes that Hank's insurance agent doesn't see this. Brand Mac Finchard that's a long YouTube
That's a
account.
long word.
Yeah, still terrifying, Hank. But on the upside, now Connor has someone to draft behind.
I'm very glad of it as well.
Absolutely.
Finally. So we had Henry Bedford on my top 10 haircuts video, and he said, did anyone think of the Tiger King when they saw Connor at the start? I'm glad you said that, Henry. I feel like I've finally kind of gaining some traction being compared to the Tiger King on the internet. So
who's the Tiger King, Connor? Am I too old for this?
You don't know who the Tiger King is?
No.
Where have you been, Si?
Well,
Right.
I dread to think.
You can comment on that below, what you think of Si not knowing who the Tiger King is.
Am I going to have to Google it afterwards?
Yeah, he's basically a proper mad guy who had a load of tigers and went a bit wacko and ended up in jail.
Oh, is that on Netflix?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, I haven't watched it yet. Okay. But I'll think of you when I watch it inevitably. Underneath your Tall Riders video, which was an absolute belter actually, Simon Van Praet said he's lucky that he's just 10 centimetres shorter than you, which seemed fair enough.
It's one way to fix things.
Yeah.
And we had Jeremy doing top 10 climbs in US as well. And I like this one because this is just something you wouldn't get in the UK or Ireland. From Arizona, can confirm on the rattlesnakes. This is Marco Beauty. There's also bark scorpions. Another great climb in Arizona is South Mountain. That's something I've never thought on a ride, looking out for bark scorpions. I don't even know what they are, but they sound...
No way.
scary.
Sometimes you're better off not knowing about these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
We had Mark Paris as well, Si, and he said, how can someone with such a great personality have been such a cutthroat competitor?
True that. He is a very nice bloke, Jeremy, but yeah, inside, well, yeah.
There's a fire burning.
Yeah, I think that's right. Okay, then we'll also give you a quick heads up about what is coming up on the channel this week. We've got loads of Giro d'Italia content here on GCN as well as on the app, actually. Going back through the archives and going back through some epic pro bikes and some Giro legends and things like that. So definitely make sure you stay tuned for that. But also our normal content too. So on Wednesday, we've got how to fuel and hydrate for indoor cycling. On Thursday, we've got the top 10 climbs in Italy. On Friday, it's the final instalment of my lockdown challenge. So we'll actually get to see whether or not I've improved. Massive fingers crossed for that. Then on Saturday, Connor, you're taking us through some of your bike packing planning. So quite a good time to be doing it, really. A bit of daydreaming, a bit of planning.
Yeah, I think if you don't plan, well, fail to succeed, Si. So you've got to think about it in advance. And it's good to get the juices flowing, you know, get some inspiration, because it is tough being in isolation, as we said at the start of the show, but we will get through these times together and we'll be back out on those bikepacking adventures, and I myself just cannot wait, I tell you.
Good stuff, mate, good stuff. Right, and then finally on Sunday, we promised it for last week, and unfortunately, well, it takes a week to see what happens if you do an FTP test every day for a week. So we're having to put it out this weekend instead. So Jeremy is doing some science where no one else has ever braved do science before, basically. So yeah.
It's an interesting one, this one. I think he's basically just got on his bike and he's ridden himself as hard as he can to exhaustion all the time, every day. So fair play to him for trying.
I think he's starting to regret it now, but anyway, we'll let you know how it goes.
Right, that's all we've got time for on the GCN show, unfortunately, this week. And thank you all for watching on my first ever GCN show.
Absolutely. I don't know about everyone else watching, but that was a cracking effort, Connor. Big thumbs up from me, and I'm sure everyone else will lend a hand as well. Right, before we go, then a quick reminder of all the cool stuff that is coming up. So obviously it's the Zwift Tour for All that you can watch on the GCN app. And then after that, it's the classic Giro series. So 21 of the best stages from the last 7 years. So do not miss that. And you can get it worldwide on the GCN app as well. In addition to all the usual cool GCN videos. So it's going to be a bumper month, isn't it?
Well, it's going to be a great month, Si. I can't wait for it. I'm looking forward to it. And so glad we're still feeling the Giro fever, Si. Come on.
That's right. I tell you what, Connor, I can't wait till we do Ross week. Then we know we're winning, aren't we, mate?
Oh, definitely.
But anyway, there we go.
Mashed
Cheerio,
potatoes.
everyone.
See you, everyone. Bye-bye.